Yes, guys, listen, big breaking news coming out at the moment from a decent source as well regarding some transfer news for Manchester City. Jeremie Frimpong, of course, used to play for Manchester City in City's academy before he went to Celtic, and I remember watching him in the academy. He was a good player back in the day in the academy, and is it gone full circle? Are City about to activate the £35 million release clause for Jeremie Frimpong? Now, I'm going to show you all the rumours in just a second. Before I do, make sure you smash a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and of course, give me your comments in down below. Look at that, guys. Is this about to happen? Right, let's have a look at the news. Graham Bailey, let me see if I zoom in so you can see this, guys. Here we go. Manchester City have spoken to Jeremie Frimpong about a potential return. Jeremie Frimpong has opened discussions via his representatives about a move that would see him return to Manchester City. The 23-year-old's release clause is just £34 million from Graham Bailey, who is a decent source when it comes to Manchester City. Granted, he's not the best. Mike Keegan and Jack Gorn and Sam Lee are quite good sources, but Graham Bailey is still a decent source, right? Here's the thing. Kyle Walker. I'm pretty sure Kyle Walker is leaving Manchester City this summer. From the information that I've got, not ITK information before anyone says, just like some stuff that I've been told, I think he's gone. I think he's in his head, I think he knows he's had a poor season. And I think if he lifts these 4 trophies, Super Cup, Club World Cup, Premier League and FA Cup, I think he'll look at it and go, you know what, maybe it's time for me to leave. And I think he might leave. And of course, that leaves us with an option. Now, you know most people know my preference. I would rather have Jan Couto just because I think he's already our player. And I think he's really super aggressive in the attack. Why not? He's a free player. He's already owned by us. But I do understand the want for Jeremie Frimpong. Of course, he used to play for us as well. £34 million release clause. And there's some talks that you could sell Jan Couto for £40 million. So if you sell Kyle Walker for 10, 15 million, you're not going to get a lot of money. He's 33. You sell Kyle Walker for, say you get 10 million quid. You sell Jan Couto for 40 million. That's not my figure, by the way. That's the rumours online that apparently we can get 40 million. That's 50 million quid in. You buy Jeremie Frimpong for 34 million. That's 16 million pound profit. In terms of the way, in terms of player trading, you can clearly see why City would like this. Now, this is where it gets more interesting. Take a look at this, guys. Manchester City are opening up to the idea of a deal to take Jeremie Frimpong back to the Etihad in the summer transfer window. Different source, Dean Jones. And as Manchester Iconics say, by the way, great YouTube account as well, you should check them out. Within an hour, 2 separate journalists are now reporting that Manchester City have just opened talks with Jeremie Frimpong within an hour. Within an hour. Is that not weird? Is that not weird to you? Has something just happened? Within the last hour, 2 hours, has something just been leaked? And 2 journalists have got the information? Seems a little strange that within an hour, 2 journalists are saying the same thing. Maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe these 2 journalists are BSing. Maybe the journalist number 1, Graham Bailey, tweeted it out, and then this next guy just jumping on the bandwagon and saying, yeah, I've heard it as well, when actually he's not. He's just jumping on the bandwagon because he wants his name on Twitter. Don't know. But I actually think now that this is something that could be happening. I understand that Frimpong's family, a lot of them still live in Manchester as well. And remember, the CEO of Bayer Leverkusen has already said that they do need to sell a player. They do need to sell a player. That's the way their model is. Now, they're not going to be selling Wirtz, right? Wirtz ain't going anywhere. So they need to sell someone. Who could they sell? Well, Frimpong's got a £34 million release clause if Kyle Walker leaves, which I think he will. 34 million quid. And now people say, yeah, but LB, do we have enough if we get Frimpong? Here's my thinking. If you have Jeremie Frimpong is a very attacking fullback. Very attacking fullback. So the way I look at it is, you got Frimpong as your attacking fullback. If you want someone to invert from fullback, you've got Rico Lewis. And if you want a mad defensive fullback, you can just play Akanji there, or John Stones. So you're covered. Now, the one thing that I would say, I've not followed Frimpong's career since he left Manchester City. I watched him a few times for Celtic when he was there, but since then, I've not really watched him. Watched him, of course, a few times this season for Leverkusen, but I can't say I've tracked his development. How good is he defensively? I don't know. Is he going to be good enough defensively for Manchester City? I don't know. But if he's not, no problem. Play Akanji. Play John Stones. Play Rico Lewis. You got to remember, 90% of the matches that we play against teams that are playing low block. It doesn't really matter about his defending. And if it turns out that he's not a good defender, then he won't play against Arsenal. He won't play against Real Madrid. He won't play against these. He'll play against Luton Town at home. These teams. He'll play against Wolves at home. The games where we dominate the 90% of the football we just have and we got the team pinned back. Them playing. You know, I don't really see too many better options here. You know what I mean? People talk about Hakimi, maybe. What other options have we got that we could realistically go for? There's a few, don't get me wrong, but I think Jeremy Frimpong is a good option. You know, you imagine last night. How many times did Kyle Walker get in down that right-hand side last night? Imagine if that was Jan Couto. Imagine if that was Jeremy Frimpong. A player that could actually deliver a ball into the box. And that's not me hating on Walker. It's just not his strong point. Now listen, I say this. I will miss Walker. People are like, what? He's been shit this season. I will miss him. Because what he gives you in the defensive capabilities when you're playing against the Vinny Juniors, when you're playing against the Mbappes and like Rashfords and that is crazy. That pace is unreal. Yeah, and I think he's the best right back this country's ever seen, in my opinion. Yeah? But everything comes to an end, guys. Everything comes to an end. And I feel that this might be the time to move on. Now, we might regret that. We might move him on and then we get cooked by Vinny Jr. and Mbappe next season. We just wish we had Walker. But you can't just keep Walker until the guy's 50. You know what I mean? You have to move him on at some point. So, yeah, listen, for me, I think this is a decent deal. I'm open to it. 34 million quid, it's a good price. But don't really look at the price. Is he good enough? Forget the price, yeah? We're not accountants. We're not a bank. Is the player good enough? He looks good, man. He looks good. From an attacking point of view, he looks good. Is he good enough defensively? I don't know. I can't tell you. I've not seen enough. Not seen enough. Whenever I've watched Leverkusen, they've just had the opposition pinned back and I've only seen attacking options. Maybe some of you guys can let me know in the comments. Maybe some of you have seen him play in games for Bayer Leverkusen where he's had to do more defending. Let me know. Is he good? Is he not? But I just think this is a decent deal. And within an hour, we've had two separate journalists reporting the same thing. That City are now open talks and opening up to the idea of taking him back for 34 million quid. I guess for me, you look at it and saying Jan Couto or Jeremy Frimpong. That appears to be the option. It appears to be, do you want Jan Couto or do you want Jeremy Frimpong? Pros and cons. Pros of Jan Couto is he's free because we already own him. So you don't have to play him. But again, are we a bank? No. And his delivery into the box is insane. Right? Imagine him putting crosses into Haaland. But defensively, is he gonna be good enough in the Premier League? Now, again, you've got to give him the same thing. Could you just play him in 90% of the matches and don't play him against Arsenal, Liverpool, the games where he could cost us? Maybe. Who knows? Frimpong, pros, relatively cheap, but more expensive than Jan Couto because he cost 34 million quid as opposed to free. Maybe could he fit? Could he fit into Manchester City a bit quicker because he's lived here before? His family lives here. He might just fit in to the culture a little bit better. Again, there's question marks maybe about his defending. I don't know. Listen, I'm open to either of them. If I had a preference, I think I'm still favouring Jan Couto ever so slightly. But Jeremy Frimpong, man, it would be sick to see him back because I remember watching him in the academy, man, and he was bombing up and down the wings. It's good to see a City getting back, and it's not like we're getting roasted. 34 million quid this day and age is nothing. So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you want Jeremy Frimpong or would you rather have Jan Couto? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash a like, make sure you subscribed, and I'll see you later on, 7 PM, back on the main channel for a panel show. See you